this first series. Evil Geniuses versus Tundra Awaken. Fog, we've just had the drafts. What are you excited to see from these two teams? Because so far, from group performances, they have impressed.
Looks like battle ready from both sides constantly, especially from Tundra Awakens, which is what we've come to expect from them. Look how much their spam is going to be coming out in this game. Zeus with Bloodseeker, with CM, with Tiny. I mean, this is just constant aggression. Let's see if EG's able to hold on to their game with their really stable draft they've kind of gone for. Lots of team fight, their SF, their Invoker to kind of stabilize things together. Let's see how it all goes.
How do you think both teams as well felt with the close up to the draft? You know, obviously Tundra Awaken getting that Bloodseeker carry for Picasso as the last pick, and EG, they leave their offlane pick to the last and they get the tie. Do you think that both are pretty happy with this, or do you feel one of the sides was maybe a bit sort of forced into a corner with the last pick?
Not sure, honestly. I think Thunder's probably pretty happy because their lineup is all about aggression, and Bloodseeker thrives off of the 4 heroes before that, right? Everyone's going to be spamming spells. Heroes are going to be low, so Bloodseeker could have a really good advantage. And I heard the panel saying, you know, a lot of the game could be perhaps how this Tidehunter's lane goes. If Bloodseeker is constantly thirsted up from all the spam and everything, maybe that lane could get a little rough. We'll see, because CM has been seen to be one of those really aggressive heroes.
Trying to start things off there with a stun into the Raze, but if you quick with the Avalanche, we'll be able to hold back the two of them.
Now let's see how this top lane goes too, right? The double melee into that Sven Shadow Fiend could be a bit problematic. These Pangos, been seeing it more and more in the off lane, but still, it's not the strongest of lanes. Panda will get zoned away.
Let's see indeed how well Crit can keep this bottom lane safe for Nightfall, or if Tundra Awaken will be able to pressure the Tide here in the early stages. He's at his weakest.
I think that the Silencer should be able to deter the Bloodseeker and the CM from putting on too much pressure. The constant Arcane Curse is really problematic, especially for that CM. You don't want to really tick yourself down and get killed in these type of lanes.
Of course, top lane, Arteezy on the Shadow Fiend, something that looked fantastic from him time and time again in the groups. This game, do you sort of like the overall game plan that Tundra Awaken have gone for to deal with the Arteezy SF?
Yeah, to be honest, traditionally, even let's go back to old Dota times, like Dota 1, etc. kind of things. Burst damage has always been something that does work pretty well versus Shadow Fiend, and you look at their lineup, it thrives on burst. So that poke from distance and burst could be something to be able to bring down Arteezy in a lot of situations. And looking at lane manipulation, it's already starting to happen. Thunder, they have to try to pull this lane top because the double melee versus SF, but it will be caught. So unfortunate for them.
And as you say about that burst, you know, one of the benefits as well, right, having that Bloodseeker last pick, the spell amp, it's going to be there. So that burst is just going to be at another level that Arteezy's got to be prepared to deal with and rely on his teammates to bail him out when Tundra Awaken goes straight for the Shadow Fiend in the midst of the team fights.
Yeah, and the really important thing really is going to be the lack of BKB piercing disables that are coming on AG at some point, right? Because at some point, Tundra Awaken, this Bloodseeker will have a BKB, and his target priority is going to be either that Invoker or Shadow Fiend. He's going to run at them, and there's no way to stop him unless they have, you know, like an Abyssal or, you know, something like that. They catch him out of the fog before that BKB happens.
Yeah, so the defensive maneuvers they can rely on being sort of the global silence, the Warcry buff.
Warcry is going to be one of the bigger ones, at least to protect the Shadow Fiend, of course, versus that Bloodseeker. That's why we've been seeing them go for it so often. Nobody really getting left too much out of the dust here. Arteezy missing some of those last hits because of the creep manipulation, but so far pretty even.
A couple of minutes in, and nobody getting hit too hard either in the lane stage.
No. I like the response from EG, the Invoker versus that Zeus. I mean, we've seen this so much, this Invoker versus those spam heroes in the mid lane, just sustains. He's able to get on them always, too. So we'll see what Abed's going to look to do. I imagine he's going to look to be pretty active this game. Going for this Quaswex build.
See a bit of a chase down here on the bottom. Frostbite into the Bloodbright. A lot of damage, but Fakaz won't look to dive under the tower.
Matthew will be able to get away. Does get triple A's. Arteezy was waiting for him to try to do some creep pulling. Yeah, as we said, this is, you know, now it's going to start getting a little harder for Nightfall until he does get a little bit tankier because the constant spam. See Panda does go for the 1-1 build.
You see the confidence as well there from Fakaz, just standing his ground against Nightfall. See if he's going to be able to finish off the kill here. He'll look to chase him down. Stick charges there from both sides.
It's close.
They'll get it. First blood here for Tundra Awaken as they take down the Tide.
I love that they do that when they see he's still got these naked items on him, right? He's just got wands, quellings, no actual stat items besides that. No ring of health either, so they're trying to just take advantage of that early aggression. Nicely done.
Yeah, absolutely. Choosing the perfect time to strike there.
And Crit's low mana now, too. So they tried really hard to just deter that kill from happening, from using all the silencer spells, but The next time it happens, Crit won't be able to deter nearly as well.
Got to be super careful down here, EG.
Yeah.
See with the pull hit, Crit trying to get back control of the lane.
Right now, Thunder's lane's looking pretty solid, all three across the board, farming nicely. The Pango, of course, as we said, this is going to be the harder lane, but he's actually had a better start than the Tidehunter because of these kind of creep manipulations that's been going on. Nightfall will have his Ring of Health finished now, so it will be a little harder for them to commit onto this kill.
See again, Panda, maybe setting up to get a bit of a wraparound of Crit on Nightfall step up.
Nightfall's playing very well as that shield to protect the silencer. And Crit does get a full clarity off, and he does have the Sages, so he's gonna be able to get that double spell combo off. Pakaz, though, with that early wand, it's paid massive bonuses for him.
See top lane. Cute, standing with the Avalanche, toss back onto Fly as well to make sure that Fly's not able to chase Matthew down.
Slowing him down, won't be able to close the gap.
Good control there. Sacred and Matthew making sure that neither Arteezy or Fly could finish off either kill.
Feels like next, this power rune that's going to be coming out at 6, someone's going to have to make a rotation for Mago, unless he just wants to go to base. Looks like it's just going to be the choice to go to base. Fill up before that power rune comes out so he can contest with mana. Abed just continuously burning him down.
See bottom lane.
Panda.
EG, they're going to look to try and make a move onto the CM here. Chasing Panda down. The same time, though, you've got Pakaz going for Crit. Panda will go down to Nightfall, but underneath the tower, Pakaz will find the trade. Both cores able to chase down the supports, gets each other a kill.
Panda will take that one. Anything to enable Pakaz. That's the name of the game for Thunder.
So far, as you can see, both safe laners. 28 and 10 here for Arteezy, 25 and 5 for Pakaz.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're putting quite a bit of pressure with this Tidehunter, to be honest with you.
Seeing now the 6-minute power rune coming into play here, and EG, they're going to make sure they have control around this mid area. They'll look to charge in under the tower. Stick charges at the ready, though. Fly's not able to dive in and finish the kill off. So as EG bringing both supports over towards the power runes here to make sure that they're able to control them against the Zeus.
Yeah, Thunder just unable to move the resources to go for that rune there. Mago, very lucky to survive, has Arcane Boots now finished up. And there's level 6, so now EG does have to be careful of that global threat.
Absolutely. We saw at the same time with the supports moving mid, Thunder did attempt to make a play towards Nightfall, but at this stage, Nightfall, he's got sort of through the rough part of the laning stage, and now on his own, he's pretty hard to take down here for these two.
Absolutely. The boots, he's able to distance himself as long as he connects the anchor. He's okay versus that Bloodseeker now.
Top lane.
That Zeus ult, it's at the ready.
See if it's going to be, won't be enough at the moment. Still holding on to it. In fact, the turnaround's just there from EG.
Oh. And they still can't finish him off. They know he has Raindrop. It would not kill him.
Bottom lane, Thunder. They'll be able to make a move here with a bit of a buff that Pakaz was getting. So we'll find Crit in return, but yeah, that top lane, that's a very juicy bit of play there for Arteezy with those 2 kills getting handed to them underneath their own tower.
Not what you want to do versus the Arteezy Shadow Fiend so far. This tournament, he's been dominating on it. And we said this was going to be the tough lane to look at for Thunder. Really trying to push the issue to just use that Zeus ult, but not able to quite find it.
See here, quick smoke from the mid lane. I'm seeing if they can get some sort of setup around the mid, see if they can catch Abed by surprise.
I mean, I think Abed knows this happening because Mago was actually nuking from the high ground while smoked. So he didn't see the Zeus and he sees these nukes coming in, so he's like, okay, I gotta be a little careful.
He's gonna try and go for the play down bottom instead here.
Nice
Margo, and with the Avalanche setup, should be a pretty dead Crit. So we'll be able to pick up something here. A quick rotation down towards bottom off the back of that smoke.
They're bullying him. 3 deaths already in this game. Just putting all the emphasis onto slowing down that silencer too. Mago, they give him the last hit. Rune will spawn bottom.
Oh, it's going to be an Arcane as well. Abed able to grab it. Turns with a cold snap onto Dark Margo, but Panda's here to help out Fly. Charges in with the Warcry and the Storm Hammer. Will find the stun connection onto the Zeus. They'll continue to run him down here. We'll see Panda have another slow in a second. And further backups coming in. Matthew, make sure the Dark Margo's going to be safe. Toss back into the 2-man Avalanche. There's the ult as well. Can Thunder have the damage to finish off even these kills? Abed turns with the cold snap. He's into the Ghost Walk. They'll drop a sentry, but
Too
much for the rupture. Bacardi's also joined the fight. They'll go straight for an immediate TP out though, Ahmed, and he is away safely. Fly will get left behind. Picard, of course, he'll charge on forward with the extra help there from Matthew and the toss. It's quite a bit of a dive, but they get the job done. Picard's 8 minutes in, able to find a kill underneath EG's tier 2.
And we said the thirst was going to be crazy this game. 8 minutes in, already rotating toward the mid lane.
This is the sort of action you love to see, and you knew that they were going to go for when Picard comes in with this last big Bloodseeker.
Beautiful rotation, but at the same time, Abed playing it clutch. Such a nice TP there, walking onto the high ground. No disables at the ready.
See him actually come back onto the map on the bottom lane now. Maybe looking to put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower. See who tries to turn up and soak up some of the golden XP from Thunder down here.
Wants to get a kill in particular, right? Just wants to get that earn charge so he can start making easier rotations. They just want to pull the attention away from the Shadow Fiend, right? So making the moves bottom, it's going to kind of force rotations from Thunder to make moves down there probably. But we'll see if Thunder does fall for that. Maybe they will just still put the emphasis onto Arteezy.
It's a dangerous area of the map. Ravage is at the ready if it's even needed, and doesn't look like it will be just for this kill alone. TPs are coming in though. Thunder, they want to see if they can find anything in return. Sacred ready with the Rolling Thunder, gets it off before the Ravage. Will be able to connect on to all 3 here with the initial stun. Jump forward from Darkmark, and they get it onto Arb, and then take down the Invoker. Panda will lose his life. But Thunder, to get the kill on the enemy mid, they'll look for Crit as well. He's out. Oh, he's not going to be out with a TP. The Lightning Bolt there in time for Dark Margo. And Thunder, they're not done yet. They're going to look over towards Nightfall. He'll go for the TP, but another Lightning Bolt. Dark Margo just cancelling TPs left, right, and center. Nightfall is going to try and run from this, but a toss forward gets Dark Margo in range, finishes off the kill. Thunder, they were more than happy for EG to go looking for that fight round that tier 1. They were ready to turn up, and they knew they'd be able to get more out of that trade than Evil Geniuses.
The second EG steps a little too far into the tower range there. They commit too many spells. Yep, perfect rotation. Sacred comes in. Really nicely played from the Pango. And Picaz, he was still staying up top, so it's not like he was just leaving the lane totally free for Arteezy. He was still kind of like putting a tiny bit of pressure in a way. So really nice rotations coming out from Thunder Awake.
Very, very clutch there to commit immediately with the Rolling Thunder. We saw how close it was to nearly be getting caught by the Ravage.
They don't quite have enough of the damage between these two to go for this kill onto the Bloodseeker.
And Picard, he's playing it smart. He knows he can't, sort of push his luck too much on that top lane alone. He won't stick around longer than he should. EG might struggle to find him.
If they have the SF, they absolutely have the damage. He's kind of the biggest damage deal that's going to be coming out of
Yes, TP's on cooldown with the play that they made down bottom, so Picard's, what sort of backups are you going to get? It's just going to be the one TP coming in to help out, but the Requiem's there, raises from Arteezy, burst him down low, and Arbed finishes off the kill. EG, they get in, they get out.
I like that he commits the Requiem. Honestly, it's just like, at this point, you're killing the most important core in the game. Don't need to worry about like over-committing anything. It's exactly how you want to do it, just in case there's TP rotations.
Yeah, they're so close at the moment, these two carries in terms of net worth. Pretty much even, but off the back of that kill, Arteezy will now start to be able to build that lead.
I mean, this game it's pretty much dead even across the board here. All the cores, nobody's too far behind. Pango only 600 behind the counterpart of the Tide.
You see there, it's an incredible win rate. No surprise, of course, with how well Evil Genius has been doing in the group stage. They've just come out of 100% win rate on the SF.
He's gonna have to, the thing is this game is typical because he has to try to like think when he's gonna go for the BKB because of how much magical burst there really is gonna be at Thunder Awake. They will be able to get on top of him at some point. As we mentioned earlier, the Bloodseeker BKB, that's gonna enable his team to just run at SF, run at Arteezy. So we'll see when he opts to go for that BKB. Right now, he's chilling in the jungle farming, not too much pressure onto him.
I mean, for Thunder now at this stage, who are they looking to run towards? Where is the easiest play to be made? Are you trying to get into the jungle to try and find this Shadow Fiend? Do you look to try and bait EG again into a fight around this bottom tier 1 and react?
I think you can fight around the bottom tier 1. I don't think you're at too much pressure of like needing to do anything at all right now. Picaz is chilling, he's farming, he has Maelstrom. Zeus is having a great game too. The lanes have gone pretty well for having like this Pango offlane that we've seen sometimes suffer. So I don't think they're forced. If they say EG overcommit, they'll absolutely take the fight.
Let's have a look, see if they want to do anything about this tier 1 defense. Last time, it worked out very well for Thunder. People scan it out, and you can see this time EG being much more careful with how they put the pressure onto that tower. They'll start to back off for the majority of them. Look over towards the mid. As Thunder are looking to trade with the pressure applied here instead.
Nicely done. Forcing some reactions. Mago, Invis. Has the Kaya finished up, so lots of burst. Also, Max Lightning Bolt is done too, so eyes on the Zeus to really bring down these targets really quick in the fights. And as you mentioned, it really is so much burst on this team.
Straight in they go. They see a chance there to jump fly, and fly gone in an instant.
Like, they really have some of the highest nuke burst heroes in Dota that you can combine all as one. As the Ango is getting quite low, but he'll be okay.
Still sticking around here. Thunder Awaken, they're happy to take another fight. Will be difficult around Nightfall's presence, though. He'll arrive at the tower, has Ravage. He's got the hook complete.
Exactly. He's going to go for his standard build. You know, he's going to go for Wraith Pack plus the pipe. The damage mitigation just seems to be pretty crucial at this tournament so far. But yeah, as you said, you know, that burst damage, it's nothing to laugh at ever in this game. That's why I'm mentioning the BKB for SF. Eventually, he has to kind of think about it.
See, Panda did step up here. We'll drop the ult with a few right clicks from Arteezy. He takes him down, and they might see if they could chase for more. They'll look towards the Zeus. Bloodbright gets laid down, but flies in on top of Damago. They've got the Ravage as well, catching out the two of them. Sacred rolling across, controlling Fly, but Picard has to back away.
A little bit of overcommitment there, getting a bit too aggressive.
I was watching from the side here, but with 4 members of EG, to be in pretty good state right now. It's not a fight that Thunder Awaken will look to step back into quite yet.
EG looks like they will respect it though, right? They did commit Ravage. They're gonna back up, let themselves just farm. Don't want to risk going into Thunder Awaken's constant spam lineup, going for a tower here this early.
How close are we seeing that BKB on Picard? It's, you know, that's going to be the next focus really for Thunder. Get this BKB done on the Picard's Bloodseeker, and then they'll truly be ready to just go into these fights. And Picard, he'll have very little that's going to stop him going for whatever target he wants.
He can just really beeline the Shadow Fiend. It's going to be mostly like the SF and the Invoker in most of these situations. And yeah, we see Arteezy, he understands, you know, BKB's queued up for him too. It has to happen this game. It's just way too much magical burst. We did see Matthew. Matthew's actually gone for phase boots this game, so opting to delay his Blink Dagger a little bit. Does have tumblers, so we'll be able to help him a bit, but does mean the initiation for Thunder will be a little bit more difficult in most situations. No real blink stun kind of thing. It's just going to be reacting to EG's first moves. Sacred, I believe does he have it done? I think he does. Pretty much the Lotus is going to be finished for this Pango. So they'll have options to be able to counter this Silencer as well in this mid-game, which we haven't seen the global yet.
See, bottom lane. This time round, EG, they should be able to finish off this tier 1 tower.
They're hesitant, though. He's not going to do it himself.
They're still being careful.
Let the catapult do it.
Never be too sure when Thunder Awaken's ready to bring the fight. Matthew, step forward here. Look at the combo to crit. And with the follow-up of the ult, they'll burst through the Silencer. In return, they'll look towards Matthew. They'll try and zoom out of there with the phase boots. That Sunstrike not going to hit. Doesn't matter. Fly will finish off the kill.
How dare you, Fly? Arteezy's last hit was going to be coming in there. He needs some money. Got to get that shard on time, too. Not really the most value shard, I would say, this game for the Sven, but versus the Bloodseeker, of course, it's going to have that massive benefit, at least for the Shadow Fiend. But besides that, everyone else is just kind of magic damage, so.
About 800 gold to go. All the BKB on Picard.
Still neck and neck, though. This game super close right now.
Yeah, BKB's on the 2 carries. It's going to mean everything for each of them.
Will it be enough to protect at least Arteezy? Because as we said, you know, this Bloodseeker will be able to just pierce the back lines to get on top of him. But at the same time, too, looking at Thunder, they don't really have they have nothing versus that BKB besides Rupture as well, too. So it'll be a pretty explosive team fight when it all kicks off for those BKBs. Both teams look like they are playing a bit careful for the moment.
Absolutely, and could, without a doubt, go either way. The first big brawl that we see from these squads, 17 minutes in, 10-9, and less than 1,000 gold difference between these two teams.
Crit could just cripple the fights completely too, right? Like if you see the Pango rolling up, you can get the global, you get these Ravages that can come into the control, so. You see how Thunder Awakens approaches the fight without any initiation.
To Matthew. Caught off the back of the tornado into the cold snap here as he steps up mid. I'll be able to finish him off. With the numbers, EG put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower mid lane, knowing that Thunder Awaken might not look to try and bring a full fight here with one of their heroes down.
EG rallying around that pipe right now, the Tide. They know how strong they are when he's inside of the fights. This magic resistance, aura, and everything. It is going to be able to counter a lot of that Thunder burst that we've been mentioning.
Let's see what Thunder want to try and make happen here then. I know that Arteezy's not present here for the team fight.
That's
the 4 of EG.
It's Sacred, he's completely oom.
It's true, he's out 1 charges as well. Nothing to sort of buff himself back up for the fight. Over to the side, stunned into the silence. The Ravage as well. They've caught out Picard. Will be able to get the BKB off. Is he able to fight with this? They'll
He's turning.
use the Zeusol to try and enable him, get them low, but it's not enough for Picard to be able to completely commit in on this. Sacred charges in with the Rolling Thunder, holds them back. Another connection onto Arbet will finish off the Invoker. EG, they're starting to back off now. They've used their big team fight ultimates. They've just got the Requiem left. Will come out from the high ground, catching onto Matthew with the fear. But Fly goes down. Matthew, he's still alive. Finally gets taken out there. Arteezy with the last right click. But Thunder Awaken overall, without a doubt, they're going to be very, very happy with how that team fight went. Huge ultimate, these long cooldown ultimates used by EG, and it wasn't enough to allow EG to take the team fight.
They didn't have the SF there when they're focusing on the Picaz. He is that physical damage. This is a pretty tanky Bloodseeker. The Invoker with the Quaswex, it does not deal as much damage versus this.
Oh, we really saw it there. I mean, pretty much what the stuns, Fly setting up into the Ravage. They get him low, but as you said, getting him low at this stage is not good enough if the SF's not around. BKB from Picard, there's nothing else to really touch him.
No, and they barely got the mana too for Sacred, right? We were mentioning how he was I think he got bottled up from Mago, and then I think he got maybe like Arcane Boot from something else. So
yeah, he must have, because I would imagine as well, that's probably something EG were going into that fight having in mind. They were like,
exactly.
we caught the Pango with the EMP, he's not going to have mana to play, but as we saw there, Sacred coming in once again with a huge Rolling Thunder.
And that was also before the SF had the BKB, so he was being, Arteezy being a little bit more hesitant how much he does commit into the fights. Now also, so Thunder, after that, Sacred, he's pretty much going to have Blink Dagger, so, we were talking about a little bit of awkwardness perhaps for their initiations. Now, that's going to be pretty clean for Sacred in most situations. Abed's starting to fall behind.
We'll see around the power in. It's just going to be the regen down bottom. Nothing too explosive.
How much longer for these cooldowns though? 30 seconds at least on the Ravage. Does feel like Thunder could perhaps go for something pretty soon if they want to. They don't really have any rush, as we were mentioning though. Their draft, they're fine with scaling in this game. Especially with how well Picaz is having a time.
2-3 of EG. Up towards the top. Crit and Fly just making sure that Arteezy is kept safe at all costs here. Just in case any sort of play was to be made towards him.
There's a little awkward to be able to go onto this Pango now too. If he sees the stun flying in from the Sven, he's just going to Lotus Reflect. Also, nice play there from Sacred, hiding his Blink in the trees, trying to make sure that EG is not aware of that one for the next fight.
They do try and make a move immediately off the back of this pickup, because as you say, it will be into these ultimates from EG. As we did see last time round, that proved to be something that Thunder Awaken didn't have to be too scared about at all. They can still come in with the outplay against the team fight ultimates as long as they're big cause. Picard doesn't get bursted, and Sacred at all costs is just able to get that Rolling Thunder off.
Look at this vision right now. Thunder has some beautiful vision down there, completely seeing all of EG's movements across the map.
Thinking about going for this hit. They're in. There's the ult to set things up. Get the vision. Sacred ready to roll forward. Picard turns towards Arteezy. The BKB's off as Picard is just able to stand his ground against Arteezy. They take him down. As off to the side, Nightfall in trouble as well. Avalanche setting up the Blood Right. As 2 dead on EG. EG, they've got to run.
They do get the Sunstrike at least for 1 kill to come back, but beautiful jump. The burst damage, you saw it. Arteezy BKBs, but he's already, what, 30% HP or less? BKB from Picaz, Rupture, gets right on top of him. We're seeing all that burst damage really being a big problem for EG.
Absolutely, as you say, one of the sort of lackings of EG's lineups, just the potential to really bail the SF out of this trouble. If Picaz gets on top of Arteezy, BKB or not, it's not going to be a fun fight for Arteezy to stand it.
Now look at that. He's 30% HP immediately, and then his whole team is already having to bail. They can't actually get the
initiation. They can't do anything to help him at this stage.
Beautiful play, really, by Thunder. And we're going to see that a lot now. When they have the Zeus ult, when they have this Pango constantly, they see everybody when they Zeus ult, Pango gets those initiations, and that's the dream Blink reveal.
And the last few team fights have been chosen very, very well here by Thunder Awaken, starting to build a bit of a lead here against EG.
Yeah, and EG, they're not really near any kind of these defensive items for Arteezy from the supports, right? They've gone for the Shard on the Sven, and then they've gone for just the Veil on the Silencer, so no Force Staffs, nothing like that to kind of protect him. So he's gonna have to stick around Nightfall for that lifesteal, for that pipe and everything. They have to play these team fights pretty clean now.
Still have the Ravage here.
See what they find.
Make a move with.
They do see Sacred. They do have that ward down.
Another up there in the triangle. Sacred clearing the wave and playing it safe. Still going to try and look for the setup. Tornado won't catch, and Sacred put the shot. Able to dodge the EMP and slide out with the swashbuckle. Lotus as well. EG, they can't dive for this.
He even holds the Rolling Thunder. That's actually huge. A lot of times you'd see, you know, just a little bit of safe plays just to roll up and Rolling Thunder out, but they can actually go for perhaps taking a fight right after this.
Tundra Awaken keeping it very, very cool here. Picard's pretty much having his next start done. Manta.
Oh boy.
Should be ready for the next team fight.
And now he's got the Dream, right? That's the always true and tested items versus the Silencer. Oh, he's gonna be able to prevent everything. Yeah, he's massive. Then he just used the Zeus ult to scout, it looks like. Feeling very comfortable now, 3K lead. Just really loving the warding. It's one of the biggest things that I've been seeing, at least from Tundra Awakens this game. Just some clever wards, a little bit different ones, but it's been catching EG off guard.
I think at this stage, for Thunder, is there really any pressure on them to sort of make these moves, or are they just waiting for EG to come to them?
I think they can do kind of what I think they're feeling so comfortable with the map. The Zeus is having such free farm, almost as Ags. Like, these fights for RTZ, they're gonna be complicated. And look, he's actually going for some magic resistance himself on top too, going Mage Slayer, going into just a bit of a different type of build to survive this burst damage. But it's just gonna get bigger and bigger once the Zeus keeps getting these levels and finishes up his Ags, which it's about to be done. Okay, so Matthew Blink Dagger's done it, but now also we see Nightfall, he's changed things up. Looks like EG's getting a bit annoyed of them not having any form of being able to start a fight. So now he's gone for the Blink rather than going for Wraith Pact.
I mean, in these fights, you know, EG, who's sort of your top priority in terms of who you want to be jumping and blowing up? Is it the Pango?
Radiant's bottom
Any of the cores. I think if you can just explode one of the cores, you're probably off to a good start for this one.
Under attack.
Zeus might, it's tough to say really, because Zeus is still such a priority in a lot of situations, but you almost will never find him first.
No, sure. Yeah, Dark Margot, highly likely to be very solid with his positioning.
Okay, there's
only died the once this game.
Let's see, they're trying to catch him off guard, hiding the Blink Dagger from Nightfall.
What are they going to do? There we go. Nightfall immediately with the jump ravage to burst through the Zeus. They'll get him. Matthew tried to come in with the toss back. Won't be able to save him in time. Now with the Rolling Thunder. Sacred attempting to turn this around, but RTZ's in with the BKB. He's beating into Picard. Picard has to back off for now. His own BKB starting to come to an end. Sacred rolls across Arbed, but no follow-up damage this time for Thunder Awaken to take anything in return as EG. Good seize of the opportunity there from Nightfall. They see that chance to jump, ravage one of the cores, get the Zeus.
I was going to say, they have to make something out of this, though. It's a nice kill, but they have to get something else. And into the Roche.
I think they'll get this very easily here.
Nice. Nicely done from them. And that time, this, you know, we were just mentioning, you usually don't get caught in the Zeus, but that was the Blink reveal. Didn't expect it whatsoever. And a beautiful play, really, from Abed. The Sunstrike to scout before that Blink Ravage comes out. Nicely done from EG.
We saw, you know, an admirable attempt there from Matthew, of course, trying to get in with his own Blink reveal to get the toss back, potentially save Dark Margot, but too much burst from EG. Aegis on RTZ. See what EG's going to be able to set up for next. They don't have a Ravage, but they do still have the safety of the Global to fight under. Ooh, actually finding a little bit of an opening here. Matthew is around as well to help Sacred out. See the BKB's popped up, it's standing his ground. We'll see an attempt to charge down Fly, but the disarm's already there onto Picard. He has to back off himself. We drop the Rupture onto Arbed. BKB from comes to an end. Sacred's going to try and roll in and finish off this kill. A couple of bounces with the Thunder, blood right down. Picard finishes off Arbed. Turn the attention now over towards Nightfall with the damage of Picard's Dark Margot and Sacred. It seems to be a lot. The Global Silence comes out. Backups here. RTZ and Fly have turned up as well. RTZ stepping forward very confidently here, of course, with the BKB and the Aegis. Turns towards Picard, standing his ground against the Blitzing, but Picard tries to run, but RTZ able to take him down.
He keeps trying to go for the SF, but he's got Warcry on him. He's got like 40 armor on this Shadow Fiend every time the Picard runs in. And that's actually, Picard, his BKB just came up, he popped it, ran in, and died right afterwards. So now we're at that 6-second EG finding their footing. And that was Thunder forcing the fight because they know, you know, Ravage on cooldown, they're trying to persist into something, and they do lose their big boy Picard.
I think they sort of just underestimated the ability for EG to bring in all the members. You know, RTZ able to step up. And of course, something that you won't hesitate to do so with this Aegis ready to go. Still 3 minutes of play on it.
Picard was really pushing the limits there too, right? He was sitting 10-15% HP. BKB was 5 seconds cooldown, healing off creeps. Tries to reinitiate, but yeah, just can't really disregard how tanky the SF is from the Warcry.
So as well, that sort of initial struggle for Picard's having to deal with that long disarm. He gets caught by. Even though they're able to find Arbed, see from this part of the fight, Arteezy knows that there's action to be had. Able to walk over, join the rest of his team, and make sure that Thunder just weren't able to stick around in this triangle. Couldn't make anything more.
Just look how risky, though, what Picard is doing there, right? Like, just really depending on all the damages.
Quick moves as well from EG. They've got the Ravage back up. They're immediately smoking up into the triangle of Thunder Awaken. Looks like Thunder Awaken are pretty aware. They're backing off.
They have the Wraith Pact now, too, so this team fight could be a lot more complicated. The burst and everything from Thunder is no longer nearly as effective. Versus Mage Slayer, versus Wraith Pact, versus Pipe. EG's got a lot of ways to just protect their cores now.
You can see here, Thunder, no intentions of stepping up into this triangle. They know that this area would be incredibly deadly with EG in position.
Aegis as well as all those ults being up. And also, Arteezy, they don't know this, but he's now hit level 20. So a big peak timing for the SF. Massive damage increase. And I think he also does have, he does actually have the full Bloodthorn as well.
This is,
uh-oh.
He hits hard.
Oh, yeah.
And with these sort of decreasing durations of BKBs, as soon as that BKB comes to an end, they have to get out of the fight here. Picard's in particular. He's used that BKB in Manta. They're able to catch him with any sort of stun, the amp up at the Bloodthorn. This Bloodseeker's going to get destroyed by the SF.
Yeah, now also you have to watch out for your Zeus, your Pango, etc. If the SF's able to get on them, he can actually just clear them out on his own very easy. Threatening with the Zeus ult. See the SF. Arteezy the only one really showing. Yeah, I think they did see the pipe aura actually on him though, so I think they did know that the rest of EG was in the area.
EG definitely still trying to see if they can make something happen with this last minute. The Aegis on Arteezy.
Yeah, they're kind of like controlling the map and constricting a little bit, right? Preventing this Bloodseeker from going for the triangle. So just making sure that they are restricting a bit of that farm. But Thunder's still not really like losing out on the farm much, right? Still lingering between that 1 to 2k gold lead. But EG wants to fight. Now they have a blink also on the Invoker, so for Abed, easier positioning for him. Either to buff up Arteezy or to get these disarms and control.
Do you think there's an opportunity for Thunder Awaken to try and look to force a fight, you know, in conjunction with the ending of this Aegis?
Knowing them, that's kind of their style. Yeah. So let's see if they want to try it. It's still very difficult because we mentioned there's a ton of damage mitigation that's coming out on EG.
They're very much ready to go. Matthew stepping up.
Let's see what they find.
Here's the jump. Matthew in with the avalanche toss combo. Bursting fly down low. Roll forward for Sacred. He's going to look to try and chase down the Sven. Flying Crit getting forced out of the fight here as Thunder run down the two supports. Fly goes down. Crit as well looking to be in a fair bit of trouble as Thunder now immediately take out the two supports. The cores of EG nowhere to be seen. They'll back out. They'll completely get themselves out of this fight. They don't want to have any part of this.
Fully ditch the supports, right? Like the globals popped and all three cores just go nowhere near to help them. So
top tower is under attack.
We'll get some push going in the top lane though. Abed, he kind of stuck around there. Does have the double forge there to hit the tower a little. We'll get answered. And yeah, in typical Thunder Awakens faction, they're gonna look for those fights. You know, that's this team in a nutshell. Constant aggression. And now they also do have Sacred with his own Wraith Pact, so damage mitigation versus damage mitigation. I would say overall though, EG, they have a little bit of an easier way to kill that Wraith Pact with that, you know, Invoker, SF, they can easily target it. On the side of Thunder Awaken, killing Wraith Pact in fights is not going to be the easiest thing.
For sure, sort of the, you know, their only sort of fast hitter is the Bloodseeker, and
yeah, he doesn't want to waste time.
Indeed, he doesn't want to spend moments on hitting the Wraith Pact in the midst of a team fight.
They'll need the CM level 20 at some point.
See Matthew. Get chased down here, Bloodthorn into place. See how much damage comes through as a few of those hits come in. Same time, Sacred's in with the ult. Over towards Arteezy. Arteezy pops the BKB.
Sacred.
That's to be into Sacred as Sacred has to roll away. Will manage to survive.
That was kind of their big go right now. Ravage still available for EG. Thunder has to be careful. Yeah, they're just having a lot of difficulty with this SF, and he's soon approaching that Satanic too, so.
He's going to be huge. If they don't burst through Arteezy, he's going to be back up to full HP.
They got to try to isolate him somehow or just get the grab on him first.
Let's have a look at.
They're going again. I mean, this is in typical Thunder fashion. They do have the Zeus ult at the ready. Pango ult in about 30.
Don't have to, and by they do now. The global silence also back up, so EG ready with their ultimates to respond. So it has to be a very, very clean jump from Thunder Awaken, and a quick one as well.
They're still being cautious. 45 seconds on Arteezy's BKB, so he's pretty much just sitting in the base. If he gets caught, if he gets caught from the Tiny, he's kind of just dead. So
Scanning.
nice attempted smoke there from Thunder, but EG very well aware.
EG know exactly what's up. Incredibly hard for Thunder to sort of find a way to get in on top of this lineup when EG is grouped up as much as they are.
Still keeping that gold lead though. The golden experience lead they've constantly had at this game. But the net, that win probability is just that even. We've seen it throughout the whole game. The battles back and forth. Some good aggressive vision though. Thunder, when they did go for that swoop, did put down some wards. EG probably well aware of that area, so they're not going to go near their triangle for the moment.
Imagine EG, I don't feel any reason to try and force anything until the Satanic is done with how close it is here for Arteezy.
This is a cool next item queued up there from Pakaz. You really understand why, of course. Just the blink, no swift blink. He just wants to jump onto Arteezy and kill him, right? That's going to be the name of the game for him. Well, let's see if he does have that damage. As we keep saying, the war cry, it's nothing to ever laugh about.
For sure.
And it gets stronger if the man ever gets levels. Let's see.
See how much they want to try and commit in onto this, as the rest of Thunder Awaken pretty far back away from this lead in from Sacred. And he'll opt for the TP out.
Okay.
They weren't looking to do anything too crazy here this time, Thunder.
I believe they also did see that Shadow Fiend Satanic now too. Roche is back up. It's a shard available. Going to be a nice free one there for Arteezy.
We'll spot this out. The Nimbus. Now I'm trying to head over towards the pit.
There's no rolling Thunder, there's no Zeusel.
It's going to be very hard to contest this. Will Thunder still try and give it a shot as Roshan is very low, but they'll put the global EG, make sure they keep the area covered, and indeed without their own ults, Thunder Awaken not able to contest this.
EG playing very smart with how they just pick and choose their battles here. Even though that gold lead, as we said, for Thunder's been there, EG continues to get this Roshan advantage from their incredible Roshan lineup, of course. But
See, actually, Pakaz as well changing it up, looking to amp up the damage, go for the Silver Edge.
Okay, cool.
Look at the toss back here onto Nightfall in the mid. Will force him to use the Ravage, catches onto the fort, but of course he's far away from the rest of EG. Pakaz charges in, they'll be able to take Nightfall down. Now they look over towards Arteezy. Of course, Arteezy with the Aegis and the BKB will stand his ground here, punch back at the Pakaz. Pakaz has to keep his distance. He's pretty much one hit away from dying. Arbet tries to catch him with the Tornado, but the BKB is still on in time to keep Pakaz safe. Underneath the tower, Sacred charges forward with the Rolling Thunder. They've taken out Crit as well. Jump forward from Matthew Thunder. They're ready to look for more. They've got the Frostbite onto Fly. Requiem from Arteezy trying to keep the space here to keep the rest of EG safe, but Thunder, they still continue to poke here underneath the tier 2 tower. Frostbite from Panda, another jump from Sacred in with a shield crash. Matthew looking for the wrap around on towards Arteezy. Arteezy turns towards Sacred. Sacred, he's still alive. He finally died. The last hit there from Arteezy takes him out for Pakaz. He's going to go back in. He believes in the bash, gets an immediate bash and pistol blade active as well to hold back Arteezy, but now the buybacks are coming out. Crit's in. Back into the fight, wants to make sure that Thunder Awaken don't poke for anything more. Thunder Awaken, they'll back off. They certainly shook EG up quite a bit there underneath that tier 2, Fox.
I mean, Matthew, right? These tossbacks just kind of putting EG in a position where they're like, wait, what's happening? Why are these fights going on? The poke and prod from Thunder. Beautifully done.
I mean, it really is with this team. Just when you think they've had enough from the fight, they go for that extra bit more.
Yeah, I mean, Matthew is really quite dangerous. We've seen why this Tiny is so prominent, especially in the SA region. Even when this hero started to falter a lot, SA was still all over it, and we always do see why. Yeah, just EG's like trying to position themselves to not get hit from this, but it's just beautiful from Thunder to just get this, literally just completely zone them on the outside and get that constant spam.
And it really was just sort of toss back after toss back from Matthew. Started with the play onto Nightfall, catches out Fly, and then here behind the tower, another toss back, and Fly once again, Crit before Fly. An incredible fight there from Thunder Awaken that EG definitely weren't expecting. They were not ready for Thunder to come at them that hard at this stage.
Yeah, it's a huge gold injection too, right? For Pakaz, he just had bought the Chrysalis. Now he has a 3,500 gold, so can choose to what he goes for here.
And just sort of the heads-up realization that they could go for that move. Something that you won't see a lot of teams go into these sort of fights underneath a tier 2 against a squad that's just picked up an Aegis.
Thunder always will. They will always go for those fights. If they see an opportunity for these type of plays, absolutely. E-Blade done for the Zeus. Even more damage, ways to protect himself as well. And now let's look at for these items, of course, since we are now 37 minutes. We always talk about this tier 4 items versus silencer. Of course, a lot of them are going to be there with the dispel.
He might look to start something off, but he's in on a crit straight with the Abyssal Blade, eliminates the silencer. Rupture as well to Abed. He has got the BKB, but not a lot else to help him. Bash is there from Picard, he's a double, and they're not done yet. They're ready to look for more Fly, trying to set up the fight in return with Nightfall. They've got Arteezy coming up, looking towards Matthew, but Matthew's able to charge away. Picard blocks the man to get back up the high ground. EG, they've got to be careful. Arteezy's already used the BKB. It's coming to an end. Sacred rolls forward, blink forward, over towards Fly and Nightfall. Picard's focusing down the time, just beating through, takes out Fly as well. It's 4 dead on EG. Arteezy lucky to get away there. Able to TP away in the last moment. But 4 dead on EG yet again, 2 times now during this Aegis that Arteezy has, where EG as a squad, they're not prepared for these fights that Thunder's bringing against them.
These guys are just way too damn good at team fighting, really. They're just dancing around EG. And the way they just get the initiation too, it's Picaz who starts the fight, right? The Bloodseeker running in with the Zeus ult, takes out the support quick, gets Abed right after.
Arteezy.
Uh-oh, he shows himself.
This is a risky bit of a move here from him under his own tier 2 for sure, but we saw what happened around the tier 2 mid last time.
Here comes
This is not a place that Thunder is scared to go. As Arteezy, that's going to be the Aegis gone, surely. He'll put the Satanic, but immediately thrown up in the air with the Yules. That's the Aegis gone.
He's got backup now, though, so Thunder. So back up for a second. I will wait to see how far they back up, though, because knowing Thunder, they could just jump back in, but no, they'll wait. Oh, and a big pickup.
Timeless Relic. And a lovely one as well that's have for the Aura on the team as well. Telescope as well, found by Sacred.
Thunder is getting blessed with some of these items. They've got the items to remove the globals. They've got Blastric to protect Sacred. And now that Timeless. And yeah, we see there Picaz.
I mean, he was sort of just in the neighborhood, sort of sees them, crit, standing around, and he's like, well, why not? We'll start a team fight off here.
These fights are getting really awkward, though. You were seeing a few times now, Nightfall is jumping in with, like, the supports, but he's like, wait, where's our backup of damage? We don't have our SF, our Invoker had died, and we just blew everything, so Mago is able to reset, and then Thunder's able to take these fights. So
I mean, even if they're alive, sort of outside of Arteezy, I mean, Arteezy's the damage at this stage. Outside of that, nothing too crazy that's going to burst through Thunder. They need Arteezy in position, deleting these targets, something that he can do as an SF, but as we've seen Thunder just poking and prodding, jumping in and out of the fights, making it very hard for them to finish the kills. I mean, countless times we've seen like Picaz running in, running out on minimal HP and making the perfect call of when to head back in, despite how low he may get.
It really feels like he needs a Blink Dagger to be able to have that follow-up for the Ravage, and he is, that is going to be the natural build-up for the SF when he's getting that 25 too. And SF, level 24, just about to hit 25. We did see Picaz hit 25 in last fight with 2 ruptures.
Oh! Sacred! He's into the trees with the swashbuckle. The bash is there, and Arteezy's TP is going to be put to an end. He's being ruptured. Is there anything they can do to save him? Put the Requiem, but Sacred back across again with the Rolling Thunder. The rest of the backup of EG is hit because Arteezy is so incredibly low. Jump forward, Global Silence there to return. Arteezy turns, takes out Matthew. They look towards Sacred. Sacred's out with the swashbuckle. There'll be a buyback straight away from Matthew. As Thunder, they want to continue to pressure EG here. You see how scared EG is, having to run right away from Thunder.
I cannot believe he gets out there, though. Great global from Crit to kind of cover the bases.
That certainly could have gone a whole lot worse there for EG. Definitely was a scary moment there for Arteezy, though, when he gets clipped in the tree line by that swashbuckle bash.
And BKB is still going to be on cooldown for him for 50 seconds. EG is smoked, but Thunder could look for him as well without that BKB.
Look at Matthew.
Insane.
See in the river. Jump forward onto Sacred, they're trying to burst through him. Abed has got the Hex out, Ravage as well. They're locking down Picaz. Have they got enough burst to finish him off?
It's so close.
The back to the BKB. Picaz, he's out of there. Start to heal up on the creeps. You know this man, he's going to be ready to go back in. He's looking over towards Abed. Abed caught by the silent swashbuckle. Shield crash from Sacred. They take out Abed. They take out Fly. Maybe they can find more here in the trees. Nightfall trying to hide, but Picaz, he's on top of the top of the shot. Picaz getting burst up, but he's going to hit him.
How is he alive?
Picaz will survive. They're ready to keep going once again here. Thunder Awaken as Arteezy crit the last 2 left behind it for EG. Arteezy's down. Crit as well. It's a team wipe. They just can't deal with them, folks. They cannot deal with them. Thunder. The calls, the shot calling, the team fights they choose to take, it couldn't be done any better.
And they are just way too damn good at taking these fights, just dancing around over and over again too. We see the Ravages are coming out, but where's the Arteezy damage? Abed had it there. He had the Chaos Meteor with the 20 talent. He had the Sunstrike, but Picaz, I think he lives with 90 HP, 60 HP something. Heals up, gets the full turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, this Bloodseeker pick, it's been played to perfection here from Picaz.
I mean, the whole team has made it look so good too, right? Matthew, by the way, Matthew is 0-8 this game, but the tiny performance so far,
the impact that he's had, absolutely, yeah, the KDA does not show how much he's been doing here for the squad.
And, I mean, they're going all in here.
I mean, there's no buyback on Arteezy. 50 seconds without the Shadow Fiend. He's 900 gold short of it. Thunder, they will back off, though. Respect the rest of the respawns coming in from EG. I know they don't need to force it too much. They're 20,000 gold lead. They've been able to clean up the mid set of racks. And they know as long as they can keep playing at the level they've been bringing for the last 20 minutes or so, I mean, these team fights aren't getting any easier for EG.
I mean, look at him. Look at Pakaz. They throw everything. Oh, 60 HP. Gets the Manta and runs away. Also, his team, of course, super good on how they bail him out. They all run and Lotus him immediately, but damn, Pakaz, time and time again, getting out with the skin of his teeth.
I'm playing perfectly with the heal up there. You know, fortunately, that juicy little creep wave there in the mid, allowing him to heal back up to a point that enabled him to get back into the fight, back into the action.
And now Sacred, a total menace this game as well, 8-2 and 14. Oh, he's starting these fights.
What are they going to do about this one? Nightfall, caught by the rupture. I mean, it's got to be terrifying for EG. As soon as, if you just see one member of Thunder Awaken jump at you, you've got to be in full defensive mode. Like, you've got to be terrified when you see one of these guys coming at you.
Absolutely. I mean, you're really just seeing so many problems, it feels like, for EG now. Like, lacking of damage, lacking of ways to reset and protect the SF. Thunder, they've kind of broken EG at this point. In all these last, I mean, how many fights in a row has it been that they've won? It feels like they've won like 5 or 6 in a row here for Thunder.
See what EG can find here. They need to make this fight work.
No rolling Thunder, 20 seconds. Maybe trying to find something with that. Look at Mago's positioning here. He's going to TP to join his team.
If this doesn't work out, this move from EG, they are going to be in a very painful spot.
Look at Panda.
They're not already hit.
Panda's just waiting in the Roche pit too. Does have buyback, so he is in a good position to try to break that smoke for his team.
Thunder at the high ground.
They see everyone. Sacred.
EG, what's the plan now?
See Abed now too.
They know that they see them.
It's constant poke.
Into the side as well. Nightfall, fly. They'll look towards Panda. They'll try and go for the easy of the kills. Panda will get burst through. Sacred jumps forward with the roll up. He's in on top of Arteezy. They've been able to burst Nightfall pretty low here. Again, Sacred with the rolling thunder passes by once more. Arc lightning from Dark Margo finishes the kill. There'll be a buyback from Nightfall. Fly's going to get taken out though. He's also got the buyback available. Commits it immediately. Arteezy, he needs help and he needs it now. Pops the BKB, trying to get the off. The Pistol Blade Act is still there from Picard. The Ravage from Nightfall. That's going to set up the Red Grip. Nightfall, he might just have been able to turn this fight around. No, it doesn't matter. Matthew still ready to jump back in with the blink. 3 dead on EG. Neither of them with buyback available.
They're not letting Arteezy get any attacks off. Either he's getting bashed from Pango swashbuckles, he's getting avalanche constantly, he's getting ruptured and put into a different position. I mean, this is just absolutely perfect plays really coming out from Thunder. These team fights, time and time again, they're barely losing anything.
Their chance for a Roshan now. And deservedly so here, 28k gold. We saw the last few times EG struggle to make much happen at all with the Aegis. Now that Thunder are the ones to have it here on Pakaz.
You can't kill Pakaz once. How are you going to kill him twice? He's also got 6,000 gold to boot. Has the buyback available. I think all the cores now have okay, never mind. Mago did spend his gold.
And again, they don't have the buybacks here. Arteezy's been going full in on the purchases, so 2,000 gold pretty much short of a buyback.
They might just be able to end it.
I think they probably will do here. Thunder onto the tier 4s. See the jump forward from Matthew. Does get caught out by the immediate Hex Sunstrike. Bursting pretty low, but the space is just being made here for Thunder to take down the tier 4s, get on towards the Ancient. EG, is there anything they can do here with the 3 of them to push them back? I don't think so. GG is called. Thunder Awaken.
Wow.
Turn up in game 1 of this best of 3 and take EG down.
And they break that Shadow Fiend there. That 100%, it's gone now. They've defeated it.
Some absolute confidence there from Thunder, already being shown, as you say, from the draft alone. We've seen them do it before in the groups. They let through these heroes, the Shadow Fiends, the Marcies, the Enigmas. They don't care.
Nope.
They know that they've got plans, they've got strategies to deal with them, and we really did see it there. A bit of a slow start in both teams.